Okay, this is how to take Scholomance on your leveling protection warrior. This is a long run. There's a lot of trash in here that does a lot of different things. So I just thought I'd take the time at the start of this video to go over some different trash. There's a lot of casters in here. Casters have been... You don't really have a way to silence them yet, so it's going to give you a lot of problems. Especially when they get pulled with the spiders and do a lot of the roots if you aggro extra groups. Sometimes you can have some problems being able to move to be able to get on the casters. That mob right there, she drops the blood you need to summon the first boss. That's why I put her in here, put a skull on her. She's the one who's going to drop the blood, and a random member of your party can pick it up. Basically, you need to clear this first room if anyone has this quest for the deeds anyway, so you might as well go over here and get the extra boss. Okay, this is one time when it's not, you don't want to line of sight pull. Because as you can see right here, I line of sight pull and I only get one of the mobs. The other one just stands back there and summons the skeletons. And right here I realize what's happening. And so I run around the corner here and go ahead and pick up the summoner. I think they're called dark summoners. So you basically just want to, in this room, you want to go ahead and mark them up with a skull. Try to put them down first so that they don't actually summon the ads. The guards, they pat, and there's not really much they do that's any different from a normal mob. Those spider mobs are going to cast roots on you. It shouldn't give you too much problem. As long as you have Thunderclap Glyph to give you the extra range on it, you should be able to pick up most mobs without a problem. Right here, this is where you can line of sight pull. You shoot them, they come around the corner. Basically just AoE tank. These ghost mobs, they're basically into this thing where they split, and when they split, they lose aggro on you. But they die really fast, so one thunderclap should kill them, and the mob should go back to its normal self right there. It's just one solo mob instead of being split apart. They also do a silence, so you want to make sure your healer and any caster DPS is pretty far back. This is actually a trash right before the boss Jandis Bravo. There are diseased ghouls here. The one that I'm actually going to mark right there with the skull. Basically all you need to do is know that when they die, they're going to drop a poison cloud. When that poison cloud comes, you just want to back away. Make sure you get out of it and get plenty of room for your melee DPS to get out of it too. Okay, these are some of the hardest hitting mobs in the instance. These guys hit harder than some of the bosses. They're called Risen Constructs. Yeah, you basically want to try to pull these guys one at a time because they hit so hard. Pull them back to the stairs. Just pull one at a time and take it slow, and your group should be fine. This is how you line of sight pull. I know I mentioned it earlier, but right here is just how you want to do it. Shoot them, back around the corner, and they'll all come to you. I think I've talked about line of sight pulling in some other videos, but I don't think I've ever showed any, so this is basically just a couple of examples right here of how to line of sight pull. This is going to be the last of the trash that I cover. As you can see, I go ahead and get a second pack right here. Go ahead out here, you shoot them. As soon as you shoot them, they're going to aggro, but you want to back around the corner because they can cast, and you don't want them to start using their ranged attacks. You just want them to run straight to you. Then it's just a basic. They should all be close enough. You should be able to basically AoE tank because they are all going to jam right there around the corner. And that's about it for the trash in this run. There's a lot of trash. You're going to be in this run for a long time. This is easily 30 to 45 minute run. Okay, this is the first boss. Basically, whoever got the blood is going to walk up to that little thing and click on it, and it lights a fire. This is called the Herald. He'll fly around out there. It takes him a little while to come down here. Basically, he's going to land right here where I'm standing, though. Just shout right as soon as he gets right here. You probably want to shout to get some rage, and then go ahead and just start opening up on him with all your best attacks. You really want to try to build aggro really fast at the start though, because this guy is going to do a disarm and you're basically going to lose every one of your attacks other than shield slam. So he does that knockback too. That's not a big deal. You can charge and get right back on him. But whenever he does this disarm, this is whenever it's going to be hard to keep aggro on him. Make sure you're shield slamming on cooldown, and I think you can even devastate without a weapon. So just go ahead and make sure you keep aggro on him. As you can see here, I keep losing threat. I don't think I ever all the way lose him, but I do have someone come close enough that my mods start telling me that I'm losing threat. He can disarm you. You actually cannot disarm him in either one of his forms. So just keep that in mind. Don't waste the rage trying to disarm him. Right there, he mind controlled somebody, I think. I don't really know. He should go down pretty easy. It's not a big deal in a hard fight. Just make sure that you have enough threat before he disarms you that you can keep it all the way through the disarm. And he'll go down pretty easily right here. Okay, this is the second boss. This is Janice Bravo. Basically, this fight comes down to she's gonna get low on health. She's gonna summon a bunch of illusions of herself. As you can see, she'll banish one of her party members too. She banished our rogue right there. But basically, you get her down pretty low, and she summons all these extra illusions of herself. Just start trying to AoE tank them. As soon as you pick them up, as soon as you see them change, that's whenever you're gonna know that she is back out. Right there, they all change target, because as soon as she comes back out, you can't tank them anymore. So as soon as she comes back out, you want to try to mark her as soon as you can possibly pick her up and just DPS her down, so her illusions will disappear. But that's all there is to her. It's the third boss, Rattlegore. This is the guy who hits like a truck. You want to pull him back to the stairs because you do not want to aggro any of the trash with him. You will not survive that if you try to tank him and his trash at the same time. He probably hits harder than any boss here, and his trash hits harder than a lot of the other bosses here. He's going to knock you back and stun you, and then he's going to go off and be on another member of your party. But as soon as you come out of that stun, you can come back. He's not a hard boss to tank. Just make sure you're using your cooldowns, shield block, last stand if you really need it. I don't think you should really need last stand on him. As long as your healer's pretty good. Make sure you want to make sure that as soon as he does that knock back, you taunt him back. Because I was a little slow with the taunt right there, and he almost killed our rogue. Okay, right here, this guy, these two, they're not real bosses. They're just here for the quest. But basically, as soon as you attack one of them, every one of these guys in this room is going to come after you. Just start really tanking. That you could try to turn off the roll groups before you aggro the bosses. There's no reason to. Just blow all your cooldowns, last stand, shield, block. Blow every cooldown you have right there while you and your DPS aggro down. It's not that bad. Any decently geared healer should be able to keep you up, and you're all melee mobs, so it's not going to be a big deal to hold aggro on them. And then after you get the first one down and all the trash mobs, you just got to go ahead and DPS this guy down. They don't do anything special that I know of. If they do, I didn't notice it, so yeah. Okay, this is Raz Frost Whisperer. He is a pretty... He could be a hard boss if he put the crowd control on the right people. He has two forms of crowd control. Right here we're going to see his fear. He's going to fear the hunter's pet. I guess if you got really unlucky and he was to fear your healer, then you'd be in a little bit of trouble. But right there he also casts the freeze ability on me. I think that always goes on the tank. I don't think I've done this run where I didn't get that. But right after he does it, he's going to do a knockback. It's not a big deal. You just charge to get back onto him. He goes down pretty easy. He's just really just a caster boss with a couple of crowd controls. As you can see right here, I can't break that one, but they actually go ahead and kill him off, and he stays aggro to you while you're in the freeze. So there's no real worry about breaking it. Right here are the 6 mini bosses. Yeah. There's nothing really to these bosses. They're all tiny spank. So I decided to just do like a little montage of all little bits and pieces of them all together. They don't really do very much. There's no reason to have more than a few seconds of each boss. Right, here's the second one. He's not going to do anything either. Just, he stuns you and he runs off. When he does run off, you just taunt him back. You should be able to pick him up pretty easy. No big deal, you just taunt him, he's back on you. Now, these mobs, the Dark Shades, you have to kill every casters. Yes, we only have one caster, so whatever's still alive. But she's just going to basically heal. Just stop her heals. Should not have a problem with her either. And on to the next boss now. Right here, she doesn't do anything. She fears. Not a big deal. Just keep DPSing her. She's gonna do a silence. Make sure your healer's not right on top of her. It's not a big deal. This guy, he's actually one of the only ones that is worth mentioning. What he does. You're gonna have to tank him 2 ass to start with. They hit pretty hard. He hits pretty hard. He's gonna put a debuff on you. I'll mouse over it in a second, and you can actually see what it does. It does 60% of the healing done to you is going to be, the heals on you are only going to be 60% as effective as they were. It's called a Veil of Shadow. What you want to do is, as soon as you get that debuff, just go ahead and blow your cooldowns. Go ahead and blow Last Stand, Shield Block, just to make sure that you don't die. But you really shouldn't die. Just go ahead and blow your cooldowns as soon as you get that debuff and finish DPSing down. And we'll go on to the last bosses right here. This guy, he just hits really hard. He has some knockback. He doesn't even hit that hard actually. But when he knocks you back, you're gonna lose it. Maybe lose aggro. You can see right there, he tries to go on to somebody else, but you just charge back in, taunt him up, and you'll have him. So, nothing to these mini bosses. This is the last boss. Basically he does 2 things. He casts a debuff on you, which I'm not actually sure what it does. Our druid healer was really good with the curse removal. But it is a curse, and you don't really have to worry about it. Just any healer should really take it off of him. As you'll see in this clip, the druid takes it off me in no time flat. And right here it comes, I turn into a skeleton, and there it is. Now, the interesting thing he does is he can do this to anyone. I have to run this a few times to get him to actually do it to me, so I'd have footage of it. He's going to teleport a member of your party into one of the 6 rooms around the room. When he does this, all you have to do is you have to kill 3 mobs that are in there. They're non-elites, so it's not going to be hard for anyone to do. If he was to do this to your healer, then you may have a problem, but basically you just, when he teleports you like this, you go ahead and kill these mobs easily. You get out of there, the door will come open. They actually finish off the boss while I'm in here, but it's not a big deal. As you can see, that's all there is to Scholomance.